Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. For the past couple of days, I've been coming across articles about former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw. He's 28 years old and he's on trial. He's been on trial since Monday. He is charged with sexually assaulting 13 black women between December 2013 and June 2014. This is a white police officer. He used his badge and his authority to molest, harass, assault black women. He is charged with 36 counts, including burglary, stalking, indecent exposure, lewd exhibition, and other charges. This man is a disgrace. He's on trial right now, and people are upset right now. Many African Americans are upset for a couple of reasons. First of all, just the mere nature of this crime. Second of all, this man is not being tried by a diverse jury. All the jurors in his trial are white. 8 of them are white men, and 4 of them are white women. The composition of the jury raises a lot of fear and anxiety. It raises questions about fairness. We have so many cases where all white juries acquit white people for committing all kinds of crimes against black people. So that's the second reason why people are outraged about this case. Also, people are outraged because this case has not received the type of attention that it should receive. When you compare this case to Bill Cosby, there's no comparison in terms of the type of attention that this matter has received. Bill Cosby hasn't even been convicted with anything. He doesn't face any criminal charges, but yet every single day, just about, we hear something about the Bill Cosby situation. But here we have a white police officer who abused his authority as a police officer to harass, to sexually assault black women, 13 black women. And we barely hear anything about it on the mainstream media. The only way I heard about it was through black media, primarily on social media. But when I turn on my television, I hear very little about this case. And that's just another example of how low of a regard this society and this bourgeois white corporate media has for black people. They don't value our lives, and they certainly don't value black women. Black women mean nothing to these people. Otherwise, they would give this case the kind of attention that it deserves. This cop is accused of stopping women, searching their records to see if they have charges against them. And if they have charges or pending violations, this man used that knowledge to exploit these women. He forced women to have oral sex with him. He stopped women and told them that they needed to be searched for drugs. And in one case, he had a woman pull up her shirt and he felt her up, touched her breasts and everything. There's other complaints about this man rubbing up against women while erect. This is despicable. And the fact that you have an all-white jury, that's outrageous when all the victims of these crimes were black women. There were 3 African American male jurors who may have been selected. They were potential jurors, but they were struck as jurors. So they didn't have a chance to become jurors. So now you just have an all-white jury. And we've seen what all-white juries do when it comes to black people. We saw how they let Trayvon Martin's killer walk away free in Florida. We saw that example. And we all remember the terrible case from the 50s, Emmett Till, where all-white jury allowed a brutal killer or brutal killers to walk free despite all the evidence. So that's what I'm concerned about. That's what many of us are concerned about. The nature of the jury, the composition of the jury. And that brings me to a point that I've raised in several videos. For all these clowns that want to talk about how voting does not matter, this is a prime example of why voting matters. If you don't vote, if you don't register to vote, you don't get selected for juries. You don't even have an opportunity to be in the potential jury pool. If we want to have an impact on the justice system, then we need to participate in the justice system. We need to take our obligations seriously, our duties seriously. We need to serve on these juries if we want to see some kind of justice. So this is the case that I will continue to monitor. And again, I encourage everyone that's listening to register to vote. I don't care who you vote for. Who you vote for is on you. But at least register to vote so that you can have a voice in this society. Not that voting is the end all be all, but make sure that you vote so that you can sit on cases like this and have an impact and make a difference. We can't afford to let this man walk free. And that is a possibility when you have an all-white jury judging a white police officer, given the bias that many white people have towards police and law enforcement, and the bias that they have against black people. That raises a lot of concern. And I just want to raise this last point before I go. I mentioned how people are upset because this case is not receiving the kind of attention that it deserves. Well, it is up to us to make sure that this case receives attention. Nowadays, unlike the past, we have a voice in social media. We can make sure that the world hears about this case by voicing our concerns on social media, by posting these YouTube videos, by blogging about this issue. We can make sure that this issue is heard by the world, that the world's eyes are on this case. Peace.